Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome once again, my friends out there in the wonderful world of television land. How are you guys? How's the family? How's the friends? How's the cousins? How's everybody? Hope you are all fine and well. Welcome to season 2 of IQRA Kids TV. Not only do we have the usual features, we've still got, like, let's see the world, where we're going all over the place to see amazing things. We've also still got, we've got Muslim heroes as well, talking about amazing people that did amazing things throughout history. And of course, we've still got the random art show, showing you how to do a bit of drawing, do a bit of coloring, bit of shading, stuff like that. But not just that, we've added to our roster of amazing shows. We've got ABC of Islam, where I've been looking all over the planet, and I mean all over the planet, for those elusive letters that my future self has sent to us. Quite confusing. What's going to happen when all those letters are found? Oh, I'm sure we're going to find out as soon as possible. We've also got Muslim Maestros. Now, Muslim Maestros is about going into our community, speaking to talented individuals that are doing fantastic work in and outside of the Muslim community. And we've sat down, we've spoken to them, and we have interviewed them, and it's all coming up soon. We also have the new feature, Kun Fire Kun, with Professor IQRA, and of course, make sure he's not here as well, Kid Bilal, featuring things that you see every day, like satellites. Well, you don't see satellites, but things like TVs, microphones, microwave ovens. How do they actually work? How does the sun work? Well, if you watch Kun Fire Kun, How Things Work, they'll tell you all about it. Right, before we get on with the show, let me set today's question. I want to make it a bit more challenging for you. Who was the second to last prophet? Who was the second to last prophet? Don't have to send it in to us. Yes, you can see the QR code. Yes, you should click on it, but you don't have to send your answers when you go to our Instagram page. Just go over there, make sure you follow us and like. And if you've got any comments or feedback or anything you'd like to send in, like your amazing artwork, or if you've got an idea for Kun Fire Kun that you think, I'd like to know how this works and that works, we will feature it. All you need to do is let us know on that page. Okay, so the question again before we go for the show is, who was the second to last prophet? We'll find out together in a while. But for now, let's get on with the show.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome once again to the Random Art Studio, where we're going to continue doing some digital artwork. Not high-end, but very low, basic stuff, just to get ourselves into that realm of thinking. Lots of the applications that people use for digital drawing, they all basically have the same kind of application, the same kind of usage, and things on the drawing tablet or on the menu tend to be roughly the same, okay? Roughly the same. So if you learn on one application, like Inkscape, like we're using, or Illustrator, or Photoshop, or other applications like that, they're gonna be roughly the same. So if you can't get the application we're using here, which is Inkscape, which is free, and you already have one, all the things that we're practicing here, you definitely will be able to do on the application you have. Things like Paint is a bit basic, okay? So besides Paint, okay, a little bit more sophisticated things, applications will be able to do that. Right, just before we get into today's show, I want to remind you guys that this is our QR code. Make sure you hit that thing with your phone. Go over there right now and make sure you follow, like, and share us on that page, inshallah. We want to see your artwork. We'd love to have you in the studio if it's convenient for you to be here in London with us one day. It would be fantastic to have some guests. We've had some fantastic guests so far, and we're looking forward to having a few more real soon, and that could be you. Right? Okay, have you done it? Have you done it? Can we move on now? Right, let's move on to our page. Right, let me get my laptop here in front of me. Now, as usual, we're going to start with the old blank page, but the last show we did, I talked about using that Bezier tool to get shapes. And I said that and we tried to do a hand, remember? But if you want to do a shape much more accurately, you have to trace over something. Like tracing paper, if you've ever used tracing paper, put it over an image and you can still see the image and you can trace over it. We're going to do something very similar here, but digitally. So what should we trace over? Should we do a hand or should we do something a bit more fun? Let's turn to our page and let's see what we're going to do today. Right, we're going to trace a Superman S. How nice is that? Now, all of the things we've talked about so far, the techniques of changing colors, using the Bezier tool to get shapes, all of that is going to come into play when we trace over the Superman S, okay? Then we're going to go a little step further and do something just slightly different along our journey. Hopefully we won't run out of time. Right, let's look at the Superman S. Now the Superman S, it's there, the classic colors. No outline, it's just the two colors, the red and the yellow. Right, so the first thing I want to do is click on it, activate it, and I want to fade that picture a little bit. Remember, when you use tracing paper, you hold it over the image and it fades it out, but you can still see through it. In order to do that, we're going to fade this image of the Superman S. How do we do that? Right, we've clicked on it. Now we're going to go to our tool on the right-hand side and we're going to go down to the bottom. Okay? At the very bottom, it's got two lines. One says blur percentage and one says opacity percentage. Okay? The blur says 0.0 and the opacity says 100.0. Now, the opacity means how much you can see through something. At the moment, it's on 100, so we can't see through it at all. Okay? So if I just click anywhere along here, let's say about here somewhere, bing, automatically you can see that Superman S begins to fade away. If we go further to our left, it's fading out more and more and more. And look at the number here, 19.4, okay? We can go all the way to the end and it will disappear entirely. We don't want to make it disappear entirely because we still want to see it so we can trace over it. So we're going to go up to, I normally go to about 70%, 71.7. That's good enough. That's good enough, okay? Right, now we're going to trace over it and you'll see why we had to fade it out a little bit, because we need to put the lines on top of it and we need to see those lines. Sometimes the image that you're tracing is so bright you can't see where you're putting your pointer to put the points in. So that's why we've knocked it back a bit. We've changed the opacity to about 70%. So it's faded a bit, so when we put our lines on top of it, we can see where they are. Right, let's go to our Bezier tool on the far left. Okay, I've held my mouse over it and we are going to click on that. And what we're going to do, we're going to zoom in a tiny bit. We're going to do the corners of the S. We're going to start with the top left here and go along here. All the corners like this. Here, and we're going to go back to the beginning, and as we hold our mouse over the first one, it goes red, we click on it. And automatically, it's filled it in with a red, and the outline is blue. This is because the last thing we did had a blue outline, so it's taken that outline. We don't want an outline, so we're going to go over to our drawing tool, our color tool on the far right here. We're going to go to stroke paint, click on that, and you can see that's got the blue, light blue in the center of that triangle there. We're going to go up to the top of that bit there. You see that little X here? That little X, we're going to click on it and it will get rid of that outline. There you go. That outline is gone. Now we're going to go back up here to fill, and you can see it is indeed that red there. Okie dokie. To prove it, I'm going to click off of it and I'm going to drag this over. There is that red, okay? Now that red has got the same opacity that we made our Superman S, which is 70%. We're going to bring it all back to 100% in a short while, but for now, let's put that line back, okay? Now, let's look on the inside, okay? Let's not worry about colors for now. We're just concerned about shapes. Right, so I'm going to go back to my Bezier tool here. I'm going to go to this top left-hand side of the S. I'm going to click here, 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 and back to the beginning. We're not going to go here. We could go here, but we're not going to. We're going to go straight back here, click on it. Now, it's gone red and we can't quite see it, so we're going to go down to here and make it yellow. Bada bing, bada boom, okay? So we can see, whoopsie daisy, oh, it's meant to be yellow, I clicked on the wrong thing. Now, you can still see that curved underneath there. So what we're going to do, we're going to click on it, double click it, and we're going to double click it, he said. Here we go. Right, and you can see it's activated those corners. We're going to grab the center here, and we're going to push it up to match the curve of that S. Stop there. Did you see that? Let me undo that and do it again. Going to grab the middle. We've activated it so that all those corners are activated. If I hold my mouse over it, it goes red, so you know it's activated. So we're going to grab here the center of this one where there is not a nodule. We can still grab the edge of it. You can see the mouse is changing shape, colors. It's gone to a gray. That means you can grab it, and we're going to push it over to match that curve. There. So we've got our first bit of yellow. Right, let's go to this other triangle here. Grab the Bezier tool. Going to click that corner, that corner, that corner, and go right back to here. We could make one here and go here like that, and then click on this middle one here. That will do it as well, okay? And then you can make sure it's match that curve. We could do that as well, okay? Right, let's go down to the bottom. We're gonna keep it easy for now, do those simple triangles. Click on here, that corner, that corner, that corner. We're not gonna do that one, we're gonna go straight here. Like that. There you go. Double click it so it's activated. We're going to grab the middle and we're going to bring it down so it matches that curve.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
Right, the show is going along very nice, but I thought we'd just draw some breaks for a second, and we need an answer to that question. Who was the second to last prophet? Did you say Isa? Jesus, peace be upon him, is absolutely correct. Well done, guys. Right, let me give you another question. We'll find out the answer when we get back at the end of today's show. Who was the first person to make the call to prayer? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. It's on the tip of my tongue. I hope it's on the tip of your brain. Keep that answer in there. We're going to find out together what answers you've got and see if it's right at the end of the show. But for now, let's get on with the show.
Initiating system 1. System 1 loaded.
There you go. Now comes the two tricky bits of the S. That shape here and that shape here, okay? So it's got some straight parts and some curvy parts. And this part here is going to be particularly difficult, but that's why we're practicing. Let's start with just putting in some points first. One here, one here, one here. I'm gonna put one here, and I'm gonna put one here, and one here, and one here, and one, the last one is here. Now you can see it's a very odd shape. It's not the shape that we want, especially on these parts here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna double click it. Remember what I said before, when we hold the control key on our keyboard and hold our mouse over that nodule, it goes red, see? So when I click on that, it goes round. That curve has gone nice and round. Let's do the same for this one here. Hold the control key down, hit that curve, boom, like that. It's not quite done it, but we can grab this and just bring it over like that. Oh, you can see. So this is where those handles come in. We can start manipulating the shape to fit that curve like that. This is where it gets tricky. Okay, let's click off of that. Right, we still need to do this curve here. Okay, so we're going to double click on the shape, activate those nodules. I'm going to hold on my control key and hit this one here, and it's created a curve. So we're going to just try and get this curve to follow that curve of the S as closely as you can. I'm doing it very quickly because, as I said, I've been using this for a while now, so I kind of know how to do it. And these parts are already square, so they can speak for themselves. Right, let's do this one. This one looks even more tricky than that one. But not to worry, we're going to click on our Bezier tool. We're going to put 1 point here, 1 point here, 1 point there, 1 point there, 1 point here, 1 point here because it's curving in and going up again, and 1 point here. We're going to click on this second one down our tool here, okay, and that will activate the nodules if you don't want to double click it. Hold down the control key and hit that center one there, and hit it again, and it creates that handle. You can drag it out like this. Yeah. Now we're going to go to this one here, hold that control key down, hit that point there, and it makes it nice and curvy. We're going to go here because we want that curve to go round again. We're going to hit this one here like that. Let's hit this one here. Now those handles come out so we can bring it down to match the curve of the bottom part of the S. Okay, so let's click off of it. It's there. It's there, okay? So what I'm going to do now, as I said before, we're going to do something that we don't normally do. We're going to group, remember that the Superman S we're copying is here, and the one we've done is on here. But it's made out of different parts. It's made of the red and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow bits. We want to grab them all together. So we're going to hold down the control, the shift key. We're going to click on the red, click on the first yellow. Let me do the yellows first. Hold on the shift key, click on that yellow, click on that yellow, click on that yellow while holding down the shift key, click on that yellow, click on that yellow. They're all selected, and then I'm going to click on the red. So all of it is selected, and we're going to move it to one side, to the left. Watch. You see? Now the color isn't as strong as it was at the beginning. Remember, we made everything 70%. So I'm going to select everything like this, and down here it still says 70%. So we're going to bring it over to 100%. And let's bring this back to 100% as well. That's the original that we copied. And you can see they're exactly the same shape. Maybe here I could do a better job of that particular curve there as well. But you can see how easy it is to actually copy a shape. Okay, now before we go, there's one other thing I want to show you just to make it look a bit more cool and jazzy. This original one, we're going to put it to one side here. We're going to select the entire S and put it here and zoom in using the control and my wheel on my mouse. That allows me to zoom in and out. Now, of course, remember these yellows are all separate pieces. It's just sitting on top of that red shield. Okay, let's undo that, go back to the original. Now, suppose you wanted that red to be a dark red at the top and go down to a light red, or a light red at the top and go down to a dark red. How would we do that? This is what I talk about when we said we're doing something slightly different than what we've done before. We've not encountered this before. First and foremost, we're going to click on the red. Then we're going to go to this tool over here. It looks like a square thing with a kind of gradient there. It says, if you hold your mouse over it, it says create and edit gradients. We're going to click on it. Nothing's happened over here, but you can see the hand of our tool is changing to this weird looking thing. We're going to click at the top of it and click and hold and drag it down. And you can see, look, it's gone red, but it's going down to white. Okay, let's just hold it here for a second and let go. But we want this part to be dark red, don't we? Good. Now you can see that bit there is already blue. meaning that it's already been selected. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go to our color picker down the bottom here and click on the dark red. The minute we click on that dark red, that point will take on that attribute, that color. Watch. Boom. To prove it, while it's still activated blue, I'm going to click on another blue here, and it's gone from red to blue, or it could be from red to green. You could start inventing and creating your own Superman S, all right? You can do anything that you like. But for now, we're gonna stick to the traditional color there. So you can see we've got a gradient of lightish blue down to a dark, a lightish red down to a darkish red as well. Now, if I wanted to change that, I just double click on it, and that line that we put in has come again, is appeared again. So I can grab the bottom here, and I can change the direction of the fade, like that. Or I can grab the top one, and I can move that over like that, and swap them around if I wanted to. Or if I wanted to make this one a lighter red, I can even use my color wheel over here, and I can kind of go through the colors to see what I like. It's just the bottom one that's changing, nothing else. If I want to make it blue, it's just the bottom color is changing because that bottom nodule here is still selected. If I want to make it green, you could do that too, but let's just stick to a traditional deep red for now. Okay, let's make this top one a lighter red, and the bottom one, remember, just click on it and you can make that color there. Cool. Now, before we finish anything else, we want that yellow to have that kind of gradient as well, that vignette as well. How do we do that? Right, we're gonna click on the first yellow, hold down the shift key. We're gonna click on that part, this one, and this one, all together. So they're all together, they're all selected. Oh, I missed that one out. That one as well. Whoopsie daisy. Okay, let's just grab that one, hold on the shift key, click that one, click that one, click that one, click that one. Now they're all together. But if I let go and go over here, and I drag it over again, they're not grouped. So we need to group them together. Okay, so once I've let it go, I'm gonna select all of them. Go to edit. Okay, is it edit? I can't remember which one it is because I use a shortcut so much, I can't remember where the thing is. Right, we want to group all those images together. You can do Control G, which will group them together. So if I click off of it and click on it again, they're all selected. Okay, they're all selected. Now that they're all one piece, we can go to our fade tool here as well. This one here, create and edit gradients. Click on it. And click on here and go down, and you can see it's going from yellow to nothing. Let's go yellow to orange. That part is selected blue, which means it's active. So I'm going to click on this orange here. So as you can see it, maybe a darker orange. Maybe not. Yeah, that's okay. So you've got that gradient there as well. And just to top it off, let's just put a blue background there as well. It's already coming out blue because my last thing I did was blue. It's on top. So what we're going to do, we're going to go up here to this tool here, and it says, you hold your mouse over it, it says lower section to bottom. So if I click on it, it goes behind it, and it looks more like the kind of blue that Superman would have on his chest there. Right, guys, so you can see we've used all of the skills that we've learned so far, using the Bezier tool, using the color picker, and getting rid of the outlines and making sure that everything is in its place. We learned here how to group images, how to use that gradient tool to get the kind of lighter color to a darker color, or green to blue, purple to yellow. Two different colors, you can make two different colors fade into each other. That's something else we learned today as well. Woo! Guys, I'm so excited because these are just the basics of what we can do. And we're going to show you on the next show how I've put together some more complicated pictures for some of the books that I've worked on. And we're going to see those in a short while. But for now, guys, make sure you hit that QR code, go over to our Instagram page, check us out as well. We want to see your artwork. We are dying to see your artwork so we can feature it here on the show. But until then, my friends, take care. Assalamu alaikum. And another show done and dusted. More amazing features, more education, more art, more features. That's what we want. We want your ideas to make our show as good as possible. Now you can email us, of course, info@iqra.tv, or if you hit that QR code on our screen right now, even from the comfort of your sofa, you can go directly to our Instagram page, and over there you can inbox us after you've liked and shared all of our bits and pieces, you know what I mean? You can inbox me directly there, DM me directly there, and we will hear your feedback as well. Oh, Khaleel, I want to know how shoes work. When you put them on and they work in it, what's the big deal? Oh, I want to know how televisions work. Well, if you do have an idea, if you're curious about something and want to know how it works, inbox me right now. We'll sort it out with the two presenters, wherever they are. Right, my friends, thank you so much for checking us out this day. Speak to you soon. Assalamu alaikum. It was a massive up. Right? Different things you do.
IQRA Kids TV.